Hi, guys. Welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. So, today we are going to be doing a little bit of preservation. I started out today and I thought I was going to go down to the grow room area in my basement and get started for some winter sowing and some seed starting in my grow room as well. And I was looking at the onions and the shallots and the garlic that were down in there, and I thought, I better do something with these. So I did plant some storage onions, Patterson and Redwing onions, and they look great. And normally this time of year, I am trying to find ways to preserve my onions because they're starting to sprout or get a little soft. They look great. No signs of sprouting softness in sight. My shallots look great too, and my garlic looks pretty good. I do need to start sorting through it and getting it used up. So I don't want it to get bad because I don't want all that effort to go to waste. So I want to make sure we preserve it and eat what I grow. I want to eat what I grow. So I want to make some confit garlic and some diced frozen garlic so that I can use it and it's already prepped and ready for me when I want to cook. I also, instead of preserving the onions, although I might still do the onions, but I definitely want to get to the shallots. Shallots will store for at least a year, the shallots that I'm growing. I've been growing the little, but like the round ones. They're a pain in the tush to peel, but you get a lot of them. This year, I'm going to start from seed some of the longer ones because they're easier to peel. So I don't need to save the ones that I have for basically seed to plant in the fall. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time to peel them, dice them, freeze them. That way I can use them and they're ready to go. I don't have to peel them every time. That way I only have to cry one time when I'm cutting them. I don't have to keep doing that every time. So I'm going to dice up some of the shallots, might get to the onions. Definitely want to preserve the garlic. I'm going to do the garlic as confit garlic, which is like roasted in oil. That way I get the oil and the roasted garlic product. Yay. And then also, like I said, some diced up frozen ones so that I can have them ready to use when I want to cook. So let's go ahead and get started on some food preservation today. So since these preservation days where it's like one product all day long and it's going to be a really long day, on these days I do usually try to treat myself to something. So on this day I got some Starbucks and I'm warming it up while I get the kitchen ready for us to dig into the garlic and the shallots. So this is going to be a long day, but the end product is going to be so worth it that I'm just excited to go ahead and start. Okay, I think we're going to start with the garlic because the garlic needs to, some of the garlic, I'm going to simmer it in avocado oil, like so it'll slow roast, flavor the oil so I can use it for cooking. And then that will save the actual cloves to be able to have roasted garlic on hand. And that has to get going so that it can be working while we're dicing up some shallots. So I think we're going to start with the garlic. It's about to get very messy in here, which is okay. So I've got all of the garlic from downstairs, and so there's still quite a bit left. I brought my trash can over. I'm going to cut the tops. So I brought my big bowls over too. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut the tops. I'm going to cut the tops off so I just have the bulbs to work with. Put the bulbs in the little bowl and kind of start sorting from there. So we're going to do assembly line style because that's how I roll. So I'm going to get these up here and get to cutting their stems off. I don't know why I was putting this particular job off. Probably because I knew it was going to be a lot of like tedious stuff and that's not my favorite. But once I kind of got in the rhythm of this day, I just honestly put on some like documentaries on the TV and just kind of had it going in the background. And I just kind of went to work and kind of relaxed my brain and kind of got into it. But these products are so worth it at the end that even though it was a mess and it was a lot of work, it was definitely worth the journey. Okay, we have a lot of garlic. This is going to take a little bit, just so that you know what I'm going to do. What I have it, there's hard neck garlic and soft neck garlic. The hard neck, it's got a hard neck that comes out, and it's a hard stem too. That, if I put it in the compost, is not going to go great. It's not going to break down. But the soft neck garlic, that's the stuff that we braided. That's going to go into the compost and just fine. So all the tops, all the skins, all the papers, all that stuff's going into the big bowl for compost. and the hard necks are going to the waste bin. So I am going to take every single one of these and I'm going to cut, if there's any roots left on them, I'm going to cut them into the compost. The easiest way to break up garlic is to just, I found, there's no great way, is to just kind of push it down on the cutting board, the cloves separate. And then I do have this garlic. I've tried all the things. You put them in a mason jar, you put them in 2 bowls, you do all the things. They just take time. There's no great way to peel garlic, which is why I like doing it. There is no substitute for the flavor of fresh homegrown garlic. And you get so much bang for your buck in terms of what it costs to plant versus what you get in return. I love growing my own garlic. I do not like the day, preservation day. It's my least favorite. However, then I like to have the whole year's worth of roasted garlic, garlic flavored oil, diced garlic, all these things ready to go. So, not my favorite day today, but we're going to get through it together. I'm going to, like I said, separate all the cloves. If the papers come off easily, great. So you can see there's nothing wrong with this, but it is starting to like sprout a little bit. Nothing wrong with the flavor. It's still fine to eat, but definitely this needed preserved. So we're getting to these at just the right time. These hard neck ones have larger cloves, and so they're easier to peel. The soft neck ones tend to have smaller cloves, so they're a little trickier to peel. So these hard neck ones, usually I can just peel them off by myself. The soft neck ones, I'll put in this little roller. You just kind of go like this, and then the clove comes out, the paper stay in. Once you start peeling garlic, it tends to get a little sticky, and then the paper stick, and it's just a thing. So I'm going to peel these cloves, put them in a colander, and I'm going to rinse all that sticky stuff off. So I'm not going to worry about getting every single piece of that stuff off right now. I'm just going to get the skins, the papers, whatever you want to call them, off into the compost bowl, and then we'll come back here together and we'll get going on our next step. So when you plant your garlic, if you plant the hardneck garlic, you do get a scape, like a stem that comes out of the garlic as it's growing, which is another product that you get to use because it tastes just like the garlic. So you can make garlic scape pesto. They're just a really extra bonus ingredient. The soft neck garlics don't have them, but I like growing both kinds because I just like a variety. But the really, 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 really amazing thing about the amount of garlic that I grew last year, now that I'm seeing how much it actually makes, is it makes me really excited for the amount of garlic that we planted together in the fall, because I should have enough to do all of this preservation plus use my own garlic for seed to plant again, which is awesome. Okay, so that took a lot longer than I remember it taking, which is what happens every year. I always think, oh, this is going to be like an hour. And nope, it's a lot longer than that. Sorry to someone's skin. So, what I'm going to do is I'm about halfway through. I've got half of them separated and peeled, and half of them already peeled. And I'm going to get this going. I got to grab another bottle of avocado oil. But what I'm going to do is get this covered in oil, and I'm going to bring it up about halfway, and I'm going to get this on the pot. When it starts to, on the stove, not on the pot, when it starts to bubble, what I'm going to do is lower it down to the lowest setting, and then it's just going to bubble, bubble, bubble slowly for about 25 minutes or so, and then I'm going to cut the heat and let it come down naturally. And then I'm going to put it back in here, and I'm going to write garlic so that I don't accidentally use it in brownies. But so that's going to make garlic flavored avocado oil delicious for cooking, adds another layer of flavor. And then I'm going to have all of this garlic in here that's going to be slow roasted, sweet, and just delicious. And it's going to be like spreadable like butter. And I'm going to put it in the little um, half pints, what is that, 4-ounce jars, and put it in the freezer. You can, once it's open, you can put it in the fridge for a few weeks as long as the oil is still covering the garlic. But I like to store mine in the freezer and just take out one at a time because that seems to be enough for a serving. So I'm going to get some more oil, add this on the stove, and let it start simmering. Put this to the side so that I remember to save it. All right, we've got our heat on. We're gonna let that go until it starts bubbling a little bit, and then we'll turn it down and let it just bubble away for 25 minutes. Okay, we got some bubbles starting to happen. Still bubbling away, but every so often I am scraping the bottom and stirring it up just to make sure that no garlic burns. We want it to get brown, slowly, roasty, toasty, but no burning. So we're gonna keep letting it bubble away. It smells fantastic in here. I've been scraping the bottom every so often to make sure nothing gets too stuck because I don't want anything to burn. And I think it's time. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and let it cool completely while we keep working on the next project. So although I kept stirring it just to make sure nothing stuck to the bottom, I was able to take the time that it took for that to finish roasting and finish peeling all the cloves of garlic. So right now I am just taking a minute to wash out the bowls and get the kitchen kind of reset a little bit so that after I'm done mincing this garlic, we can just go right to the shallots and be ready to keep rolling. So we have our confit garlic coming down to room temperature. That's just going to stay there for a while. I'll probably put a cover over it in a little bit to keep my cat away from it. And we've got the rest of our garlic peeled, rinsed, and ready to go in our food processor. So we're going to make some garlic pucks because every time a recipe calls for garlic, they don't want it whole. So let's take this step out of it and just have it be ready. So we're going to put in garlic, just a little bit of, I'll actually put in some garlic flavored olive oil just to give it some place to get going. And we'll get this going. Just that easy. I say that easy. It's been 75 hours of peeling garlic. But now it's ready to go into the freezer. So let me get a baking sheet, maybe 2 of them. I'll get it lined with some parchment paper. That way we can put it in the freezer. Got a cookie scoop. It's just a 1.5 tablespoon. We're just going to scoop it. So we did ginger like this together in another video. And this is just, it's so easy and convenient. And if you didn't grow your own garlic, but you still wanted to have this, you can get, Costco, Kroger, I think Walmart, they sell pre-chopped fresh garlic. You could get that, zip it all up in the food processor or blender and have it ready to go whenever you wanted it as well. So I'm just going to get these Also, if someone tells you that 1.5 tablespoons is too much garlic, those are not your people. Not your people. All right. I'm going to get these all situated. Might need a third sheet. We'll see. When I am done with today's projects, I am going to have to wash my hair about 3 times to get the garlic smell, which is not a bad smell, to get the garlic smell out of it, and wash these clothes with like laundry sanitizer. Which again, so when I make things like curry, fish, garlicky things that have a strong smell, I kind of like to do it because they taste delicious. That's why they smell so strong. I kind of like to do these things all at once so that not only am I taking the time to get it done earlier, but also like I'm only really putting a strong smell in my house once or twice a year. And then the rest of the time, it's pretty convenient to just whip it out and have it ready to eat. Why didn't I unsnap this earlier? Funny. Okay, I'm gonna get these into the freezer. On big kitchen days, I do like to clean as I go, but a lot of these things we're going to use again and again, like the big bowls. So I am just taking a second to really quickly put away the things that I'm done with and get set up for the next. Okay, friends, we're on to the next. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have got my crate of what's left of the shallots, and I'm going to peel off the skins, put them in a bowl, and then I've got my veggie chopper. So I'm not going to chop them all individually. I'm just going to peel them and I'm going to get them ready to be chopped. I'm going to peel them, drop them in a bowl, more assembly line. This is one of those days. If you're going to be here in the kitchen, getting your hands all garlicky and oniony, let's just knock it all out and do it all at once, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get these started. I'm going to get my 2 bowls. All right. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to grab these, get them. There we go. I'm going to grab these, get them peeled, put in bowls, and we'll go from there. So these are the shallots that are like round, not the like banana shaped shallots. I'm not really sure. But when you peel them, you get a lot of them, but they're small. I'm going to grow this year the ones that are longer and larger. You don't get as many, but you don't have to peel as many. So I'm excited to grow. I still have these that we sewed together in the fall that are going to come up. And then I'm going to try the new kind and see which ones I prefer. So I'm going to get these peeled. I'm not going to be super careful because I have a ton of them. So I'm just going to cut their ends off and stick the peels in the big bowl. Actually, I'm going to stick the peels in the bowl that I already have the garlic peels in, I think. And I'll stick the shallots, I'll stick them in one bowl and the peels in the other, and then get them ready to go through the chopper. These are not as hard to peel as garlic, but I am going to put on eye goggles because the vibes are real. All right, let's get going. So I don't know about you guys, but I have like a list of things on my Netflix that I never really get to very often unless I'm having trouble sleeping or if I'm having one of these cooking days like this. So I was able to listen/watch some really cool documentaries on Netflix while I was getting this done. So although this did take a long time, it didn't really feel that long because I had stuff that was kind of distracting me. And so this was a fun little project. And the fact that we got so many things done, and I have all of these diced shallots available to me. So I'm just pretty excited about what we were able to get done on this day. It was a good day. Okay, so on hour 345 of chopping shallots. So I have a bowl full of shallots. I'm going to rinse them and then put them through the chopper. I have about a quart's bag worth of shallots left. And I am not going to chop them. I'm going to chop them in half and put them in the Ziploc bag for when I make broth, because I am done with the chopping for today. So I'm going to get these last ones chopped in half, put into a bag. I'm going to get this added to the other big bowl to bring out to the compost. I'm going to get this rinsed, and then I'm going to start chopping them with my vegetable chopper. I never really used this until this. I've had it for a long time, but I didn't really use it until this year when I did the potatoes, and it's lovely to use. So I'm going to get everything ready. I'm going to get everything ready and then get this going so I can chop up these shallots and put them in a freezer bag so that I can use them for cooking for the next few months. I gotta put the right blade attachment in. All right, let's keep chopping. I'm going to use this. Try to get them smaller. Yeah, I think that's better. So this chopper, totally not necessary. I could have done this with a knife. I could have done it in a food processor, but it did make it kind of fun and kind of easy. I did scrape my hand, so I got a little cut, so I put a Band-Aid and a glove on it. But now we are going to be moving on to getting this oil packaged up, and I am excited about it. This smelled so good, and I was excited about it. I'm really excited. So we've got this garlic oil ready to pour. This oil smells so good. And I know that it's awesome in cooking because I had it from last year. And it's one of my favorite ways to get a little bit of extra flavor in there. Okay, we've got all this. All right, that is 2 containers of garlic avocado oil. And these are both quarts. Yeah, these are both quart size containers. So we have a half gallon. Yeah, is that right? No. Yeah. Yeah, we have a half gallon of garlic avocado oil, which is awesome. Okay, and now the rest of this I need to get into the containers that it is going to be frozen in. So I need to get the little mason jars ready. I'm gonna get this stuff into the dishwasher. So now that we've taken the oil out, this is what all that yummy confit garlic looks like. Just slow roasted garlic. And we're gonna take all of that and put it into these little half pints, quarter pints jars. So I'm gonna get this all in there. It's so funny. I think it looks so dark in my kitchen, but it's like 5:45. But that's the time of year. Anyway, so I was able to put this in a couple different containers to kind of have it a couple different ways, I guess, and to kind of see which one I like. But man, I am so thrilled with this product and how it came out. This is one of my favorite things to use when I'm cooking. Hey guys, we got it all done. So we have our roasted confit garlic, and I have 8 of them in these jars. And then I had a little extra, and I was gonna go get more jars, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I have these. And so these are these ice cube trays with the silicone bottoms, and so once they're frozen, you can pop them out. And I thought, well, this is when you just need like 1 clove of garlic. There's 3. But 1 is 3, right? So I'm going to try doing this. I don't know why I didn't do it with the minced garlic, but next season I will. And then there were a couple extras, so I tried freezing them in these bags. This is not a long-term storage solution. This needs to be used up in the next like month or so because these aren't even freezer bags, but they're going to thaw really quickly. So I figured I'd give that a try. Plus we have our half gallon of garlic infused avocado oil, and we have 3 quart bags of diced shallots. So long day in the kitchen, but this means that I have these ingredients ready to go as we're preparing meals. So grow what you eat and eat what you grow. That's the goal here. So I want to thank you guys so much for spending the whole day with me in the kitchen while we were chopping and peeling and roasting and preserving. So I appreciate you guys so much with all the thumbs up and the shares and the comments. I just really appreciate you guys. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.